mean, looking back, I've barely had parents my whole life. There were a few good times, especially when I was young, but I mean, they were always tainted with their religion. Um, and as I got older, it just got more and more apparent that they really didn't care for me. I mean, they'll say otherwise, but that's not how they acted. That's not how they treated me. Even when I tried to tell them that that's how they were treating me and that's what was happening, you know, they that's why my friends were so important to me in the first place. I needed somewhere I could be myself and grow in a healthy way because I couldn't get that at home. At home, everything was just fucked. Like, not like I hear horror stories about people like dads threatening them with guns and like just beating them all the time and stuff. And like, no, we got spanked a few times. I'm more talking about like the overbearing, like over controlling, um, telling us how to live every moment, basically. Um, and of course, forcing us to go to their religion, which is an awful thing to inflict on somebody, especially a child, especially someone who doesn't know better. Except, oh, I did know better, and I questioned you on it, and you made me shut up. And when you said, "Hey, we're gonna take you from your home and your friends, and there's nothing you can do about it," I said, "Well, that's gonna fuck me right up. You shouldn't do that." And you said you made me shut up. And after the move, I said, "I'm not getting better. I'm getting worse. I need to go back to my friends." You said, "No, shut up. We know better than you. God knows better than you. We believe in God. Why? I don't know. A feeling. A feeling that you want to believe because you're scared. Because you need that connection just as badly as I do. Except, you have the earthly ones too. You get the earthly ones and the godly ones. But your godly ones prevent me from making my earthly ones and keeping my earthly ones. And I tried. I tried when I got out on my own, and I've always been able to like make friends and make like good impressions. It's just that there was so much bullshit just under the surface that I couldn't identify, that I couldn't detect, that I didn't realize that I was doing, that made me a really shitty person and a really shitty friend. And I couldn't build any real friendships on the broken foundation of your version of love, which is just controlling. It's selfish. You want what's best for you, and you're convinced that that's best for me. Actually, I don't even know if you're convinced that it is. You just say that. You'll say whatever. You'll say whatever to get what you want, and you'll spin it as being good for me. But like, it clearly hasn't been. No part of it has been. You've been terrible parents my whole life. You've failed at almost every step of the way. You like, I believe you love me based on past experiences, but God, it's so fucking distant. Where did you go? I've had to go my whole life without parents, without like a family, basically, without connections. Because of you. Because of your bullshit that I tried to tell you at the time was bullshit. And I tried to tell you later was bullshit. And I tried to tell you this year was bullshit. But you don't ever want to help me. You just want to continue spewing your bullshit in response to whatever I have to say. You don't ever actually listen. You say you do. You think you are, but you aren't. And so I've been alone for like my whole goddamn life because I can't talk to you. Because you live in a bullshit nonsense fantasy. And you fucked up my reality. And it's taken me so long just to untangle it, just to work my way back to like, oh yeah, this thing that I thought as a kid, oops, yeah, that's the big problem. It was all along. Like, fuck. I remember thinking in church, sitting next to you, like, wow, I sure am glad that we share the same faith, because if we didn't, I don't understand how we could even be family. And, oh, turns out we can't. So you believe in bullshit. You believe you love your imaginary friend more than me. I don't know why, like, You have strong feelings. That is why you believe the Bible. It was written by people. People wrote in the Bible that it was written by God, and that the people who were writing the Bible were right in everything that they said, but they wrote that. Do you understand? Do you understand why our conversations always go in circles? It's because your faith isn't founded on anything. It is circular. Your logic is circular. That is what drives us in fucking circles. It is not me. I have an I have an earthly worldview because I live on Earth. All my senses detect things on Earth. All the things that I can verify are things on Earth. And I've tried to verify the Bible, and I've tried to verify God. I don't think God's there. I think the Bible was just written by people. I think you're kind of stupid for believing otherwise. And I can't believe you ruined my life over this nonsense, over this stupid shit. How meaningless I must be to you. Do you understand? Do you understand why it feels like you hate me? Because you've made every wrong possible decision you could. Even while I was telling you not to, even while I was telling you why it was bad, what would happen. You willfully ignored me and hurt me and ruined my life. You fucking killed me, you stupid pieces of shit. Please listen, please. I miss you. I just wanted a fucking family my whole goddamn life. You took me from it and you wouldn't fucking be there for me. You couldn't. You're lost in fucking heaven. Well, I hope it's worth it, and I know it is because you feel that it is, and that's all that it takes. You are so powerful at deluding yourselves that you don't need me. You don't need my love. You had kids you don't actually want, and we have to suffer for it. So thanks. Thanks a lot. Please stop spreading the hate. Please stop spreading your poisonous religion. Please try to see reality, and please try to make up for what you've done. You have no fucking idea. Please. You know, I'm just trying to make emotional appeals. I'm not trying to be manipulative. This is how I see the world, and it is so frustrating because it feels like you hate me, and every time you choose not to listen, you're making the choice to hate me. You're telling me every time, we don't love you that much. We don't love you enough to admit that our faith was a mistake and that we should do something different now. And so I have to find a way to like raise myself as a fucking 30-year-old living in a blanket fort at my friend's house because I don't have a life, because you ruined it from the foundations. And I've just been rummaging through pieces ever since. I don't want to make these kinds of videos a habit. I don't like, screaming. But it's losing control to this voice that's been inside of me my whole life, that's been angry at my parents my whole life, that's been trying to get through to them my whole life, and they just don't want to listen, and I can't make them. And so I don't know what else to do. It doesn't matter if I scream or not, so it might as well. What harm is it gonna do? What does it matter? But I'm not usually this emotional. It just flares up, especially when I haven't been sleeping well. Which I haven't been my whole life, It's everything. Everything is tied together, and it's all shitty, and it's seemingly all their fault. They really did make the biggest mistakes of my life, and they really did do the most damage. They set me up for failure when they should have known better, and they're not sorry enough to change. So I have to help myself, and I don't know how. I don't even know if there are the tools to do that. It feels like society is kind of stacked against us, like we're meant to just, pay for things until we die. We're not actually meant to advance anything or go anywhere, or, don't want to make too much progress too quickly. There's a lot of money to be made if we slow things down. That fucking bullshit. I didn't need a fake God or a ghost of Jesus my whole life. I needed fucking parents. I needed caretakers. They just weren't there. Sorry for going on about it so much. It's just, my whole life. It's been a real problem ever since I was young. Maybe ever since I was born, honestly. Kind of wish I hadn't been. I wish people just thought about things more in general before doing them. Because your brain could save you a lot of pain. It could save me a lot of pain. You just choose to be shitty. You choose to be wrong. And you choose to hurt people. Dad once asked me recently something to the effect of, so what, if I give up my faith, you'll suddenly be okay? And I said, no. No, I think it might be too late for me either way. Like, it's not gonna be, like, an overnight thing. Even if they said tomorrow, hey, we thought about what you said, and you're right, we were tricked. We no longer believe in God, and we think Jesus was just a guy, and the Bible is a bunch of bullshit. I'd be like, hey, that's great. I'm still really distrustful of you, and we got a long way to go, It's not just gonna snap back to it's never gonna snap back to anything it was before. It can't be anything it was before. So, yeah, I was just feeling emotional, and wanted to put it in a video. I probably didn't get it all out there. There might be more videos like this to come covering, various aspects, which at a glance probably just sound like a broken record. You always complain about the same thing every time. And it's like, yes, but also there's so many facets of it. There are so many aspects of it. It's a lifelong, deep trauma that is still giving. And I really don't know what I'm going to do about it. We're never going to expand our boundaries if we don't push them, And I'm not happy where we are. I think we're in a really bad spot. So I hope we keep pushing boundaries. And thanks for coming along for the ride this far. I don't know where it's going next. Probably to Genesis. Research so far has shown that Moses was legendary, but probably based on a true person, and Abraham, no real evidence for at all. So, not the best start as far as historical origins or any kind of verifiable accuracy. But it really doesn't matter anyway, whether the people are real, the God they're speaking of is fake. You realize, like, anyone can write a Bible, anyone can write down, I heard God and this is what he said. Like, I could have started my video series that way, and I wonder what kind of results I would have got if I was really, intent on telling that lie. But I don't want to lie to people. I've seen the pain, the danger of lies, and I think as a whole, as a society, as a planet, we've let too many lies slip. We let misinformation go way too far, and it's hard. It's hard to verify everything, and not everybody wants to be their own thinker, but that's kind of what we need, especially as it gets easier and easier to fake things. We need to be more perceptive so that when we spot things that are unusual, we can detect problems early and, at least get conversations started so that removing the problem isn't like pulling teeth. So yeah, thanks for listening. I feel better for having a bit of a scream and a cry. So I hope you're having a better day than me, and goodbye.